السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Sheikh Eesa Aboo Eesa, كيف حالك?
What's going on, Sheikh? Alhamdulillah. What's happening with you?
It's good to see you, man.
Alhamdulillah. It's always a pleasure, man.
Alhamdulillah, you're very handsome, my brother.
Stop playing games, man. Go ahead, man.
So talk to me, man. So just wanted to get you on here to tap into your intellect a little bit, get some of your thoughts, get some of your stories. You know, it's been a while since we talked. Since the Kensington days, the Gotham days, we really haven't had time to really bond with each other and kind of catch up. But tell me a little bit about the night shift aftermath for yourself personally.
To be honest, man, the reality of what happened after the night shift, I didn't really notice it until you get outside of Philly. Because in Philly, you're on a war standing most of the time. So for me, Philadelphia was just a battleground. It wasn't somewhere where you could really see the effects of the night shift other than a struggle between you and another group of people. Mm-hmm. So it was more about just defending yourself and getting the information out there. So, we were very, hopefully Allah accepted it. You know what I'm saying? It was a very sincere, and it was kind of organic. So we kind of reacted as things happen. But when you get outside of Philly, you started seeing that as the smoke kind of cleared a little bit.
Yeah, you described it as the perfect storm.
It was the perfect, all the elements came together, you know what I'm saying? And it was a perfect storm. It basically was rice eaters, that people who you didn't think, you know what I'm saying, wasn't the most educated or they wasn't the most eloquent people. They were from North Philly, which is probably the poorest or the most downtrodden part, of the city, whatever the case may be, and probably the most less educated of the people, So, but when you got outside of Philly, though, the appreciation for the night shift was much more appreciated than it was in Philly. Mm-hmm. In Philly, it was I don't know the word, but it was more of a us and them. But outside of Philly, I was in Georgia. Every response that I got was a positive one. A lot of people started learning about the Dawah because of the night shift, where they hated Salafiyah and Salafis beforehand because of the behavior of people.
And then some of those issues that were touched on were issues that people were struggling with by and large.
Yeah, exactly.
Couldn't get around certain of those, certain issues, and that clarity made it easy for them to receive Salafiyah.
Yeah, it was. It was, because it quelled the argument of just everybody's not on it. So people were more so, Salafiyah became approachable. It became more of an approachable thing. Like, oh, it's not us and them. It's not everybody's nothing except us. It's more general than that, and it's more detailed in this area, but it's general here. And it kind of put everything in its proper place, I believe.
As I learning from the night shift, being a fly on the wall, and of course one of your students, and as well as Ustad Nafis, Barakallahu Fikum. It proved to me that Salafiyah was more inclusive than exclusive. Mm-hmm. That if you follow the principles, the way that the companions followed the principles, and the way that the righteous imams that preceded us, if you see in the way that they moved and the way that they prioritized, you saw how much mercy and inclusivity and forbearance the minhaj really is. How that really is.
Yeah, they wanted mercy on people. They wanted people to know. They wanted people to be included. Mm-hmm. They didn't want to exclude people. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. And I think that one of the things that it brought back the permissible refutation. It made it okay.
Permissible refutation, explain.
It made it okay to check your brother. But you don't have to talk back. You don't have to destroy his name. You don't have to attack his family. You don't have to attack his name. You don't have to disrespect him. But it made it okay to say, no, that's not okay. We don't have to accept that from you. Mm-hmm. And I think it kind of brought that kind of back into the foreplay, because, and I think also the aftermath of it, to be honest with you, it made it okay to take from a lot of different people. Right. It made it okay for the Muslim Family Center. It made it okay for the Mufti. It made it okay for Farouk Post. It made it okay because before that, people walking around kind of afraid to listen to people.
Right.
And I think the night shift kind of
misplaced fear factor.
Exactly. I think
But that's a control mechanism too.
that's a control mechanism. Whereas though you can believe that somebody can take your salafi or take the sunnah from you, that's a divine gift, not a human gift.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? To take that from you. So I think the night shift kind of put the spotlight on where it should have been. People who are qualified to teach certain things, and that they were more qualified than another group of people. That's just period. And I think the night shift opened those doors up.
And shine light on that.
And shed light on that.